What is going on YouTube? Joe here with Culination Media, bringing you yet another Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle today. And today's opponent is going to be the villain from the movie 300, Xerxes. Honestly, that's what I think every time I see that name. Not that I see it often or anything. But anywho, yeah, he looks a little bit different now, doesn't he? With the hat and everything. The hair. But okay, looking at his team here, it looks like... I laugh at my jokes because I'm the only one that will. But anyway, Aerodactyl looks like it's going to be his Mega or Tyranitar. It could also have Gengar, but I'm guessing that's not going to be the case because most people follow Smogon, so that's that. I'm going to speed this battle up, by the way, if you haven't noticed, because this battle was quite long. I've got my Stally entry hazard team that's super annoying and all that stuff, so I'm going to start off with Smeargle. Doodles, he's going to start off with Gengar and go for a substitute on the first turn. I predicted that, went for the Stealth Rock instead of Spore, so that I was able to get both layers of entry hazards up that I wanted to, which is going to be Sticky Web on top of the Stealth Rocks there. So he goes for the Focus Blast on the first turn. That takes me down to my Sash, and he's going to go for Focus Blast again. Both hit, and yeah, that's going to take me out. I'm kind of glad it did hit because the only other move I have in the Smeargle is Magic Coat, and that can do nothing to Gengar. So I'm assuming his other move is going to be Disable, so that means his attacking moves are just Focus Blast and Shadow Ball. And as I bring my Skarmory in to take that Shadow Ball and roar this thing out to get rid of his substitute, I take a lot of damage. And thankfully he goes into his Tyranitar here after the roar, because Tyranitar is one of the only Pokemon on his team that really can't do anything to Skarmory at all, with Conkeldurr probably being the other one, unless it has Fire Punch. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself there, so I'm just going to go for the Roost. I know he can't really do much to me, and I'm not sure what kind of set this thing is. It looks like it's not going to be a Mega. It looks like it's just going to be a typical Dragon Dance set, which is fine by me, because I have Roar, so he's going to go for it again. I'm just going to roar him out, and he's just going to have to keep taking, entry hazard damage as he comes in. And once I get someone I can really set up on, I'll set up my 3 layers of spikes. Then I'll have 3 layers of spikes and Stealth Rock and Sticky Web, and I can bring somebody in to clean up the mess. And that's my goal here. He's going to go into his Porygon 2, and I can't stand this thing. I don't know. I fought so many of them, and they're so incredibly bulky and annoying. It's just, I don't know, it's like one of those, everybody has one of those Pokemon that just makes you want to pull your hair out. Well, that's me, except I want to pull my opponent's hair out. But nonetheless, I'm stuck fighting this thing, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm going to bring in Glow and just go for a Light Screen, and, try to soften the blow a little bit, and take a little bit of damage. It turns out this thing has Charge Beam, so, he raised his special attack a couple of times, which is fine. I'm just going to try to get some, not Charge Beams, some Psyshocks off. And his special attack just keeps going up, because I think the percentage on Charge Beam for raising special attack is like 70? Something ridiculous like that. So he's going to get it pretty much every time. There's not really any stopping him there. So I'm predicting him to go for another Recover. And he does, and because of that, I'm able to safely switch in my Titanio, and I know I can take at least one hit and roar him out and, get rid of those boosts. So he is going to go for the Charge Beam, and it does okay damage, and I think at that point he was at +2, now he's going to be at +3, but roar, out he goes, in comes Conkeldurr, and I don't think Conkeldurr can do too much to me. I'm pretty confident, and I know I can live a Fire Punch even if he has it, so I'm not too worried about it, so I can really just set up my spikes, honestly, or Roost, either or, and there's not much he can do. I could also Brave Bird him and do a lot of damage, but he's just going to go straight into his Togekiss here, and I'm so happy that I have Stealth Rock up, because this Togekiss is such a problem for my team. There's not really much I can do to it, even with Brave Bird, and even it being, generally speaking, a special wall. I don't really have anything to counter it, so he goes for the Nasty Plot, and I'm going to go for the Roar, and bring Gengar back out, and he's going to have to take some more Stealth Rock damage, and he's close to the range where he couldn't set up another substitute. It looks like he could maybe set up one, but he's not going to risk it. He's just going to go for Shadow Ball, and yeah, because he's Life Orbed, I know I can just keep roosting off the damage, and not have to worry about it. So eventually the Life Orb's just going to kill him. And, you know, of course I have to bet on the fact that I'm not going to have to deal with a crit. But he's going to go for the Destiny Bond there, and I'm just going to roar him out. I'm not going to play this game. So it turns out that he didn't have Disable. He did have Destiny Bond instead. But yeah, I'm not playing that game. He'll just have to take the entry hazard damage coming back in, and that's that. So he's going to bring out Aerodactyl now, and that is indeed his Mega Evolution, and it has Fire Fang. It's going to be boosted by his ability Tough Claws, and he gets the flinch there, which is unfortunate. But there's not much I can do about it. So now I'm going to switch out. I don't really feel like I can take this thing on with Skarmory. So I'm going to go into my Nightwing. I know I can handle it pretty okay. He may have predicted that and gone for the Hone Claws there. And now I'm in trouble because I can't, you know, phase him out. So I'm just going to have to try to deal with it this way. So he's going to go for the Stone Edge, and that does almost half, which is bad news. Thankfully, I'm going to be able to avoid the 2-hit KO there. And on top of that, I'll be able to get some Toxic Orb, Poison Heal, damage, recovery there. So that's good. So he's going to have to go for another Hone Claws if he wants to take me out here. So that's what he does. I'm going to go for the knockoff because that's the only move I have that can damage Aerodactyl at all. The other one that I have would be Earthquake, and that doesn't really, you know, do much for me. So I'm going to go for the Protect here and hope he goes to attack and not go for a Hone Claws. But he does try to attack, so that's awesome. I get more Poison Heal damage. He takes more damage from Toxic. He's going to go for Stone Edge. I'm going to have to take that. And I take it okay, I guess. I mean, for a +2 Mega Aerodactyl with Hone Claws, I think I took that pretty well. And yeah, not too bad at all. I mean, I'm in a pretty good position here. So now he's going to bring in Porygon 2, and I'm kind of in a checkmate position here. I mean, not even really a checkmate position. He's going to kill me with Ice Beam if I stay in. So I'm going to protect first and get some, you know, Poison Heal damage off, or recovery, I mean. And now it's just a matter of, do I want to Toxic it, or do I want to knock off the Eviolite? Which is more important? I decided to go for the Toxic here. And in retrospect, that may not have been the best move. I don't know. I felt like I could just wear him down. He does have Recover, though. And that's going to be the problem. So I probably should have went for the knockoff there. That was probably the safer move. Especially because Toxic also could have missed there. And that would have been really bad. So went a little risky there. But he's going to go for the Ice Beam. And it doesn't kill me after I get the light screen up. That's going to make him take some more poison damage. And instead of trying to attack him, I'm just going to set up another Reflect and then let Glow finally bite the dust. But Glow did good. She set up screens. Well, I guess I shouldn't say she because it's a guy. It's a male Espeon. But anyway, he set up screens a couple of times, so I can't really ask for more than that. I'm going to bring in Skarmory now and set up another layer of spikes because I was assuming he was going to try to recover. So that's exactly what he does. And, you know, I get a little bit of leftovers recovery, which is nice. He's going to take some more poison damage, or a lot of poison damage, actually. And that's nice. And he's pretty much going to have to switch out here because I can just set up spikes all day. So, in comes the Gengar. He takes more damage from entry hazards. Thankfully, I have the light screen up, so he can't, you know, do just a butt ton of damage with Shadow Ball. And he can't switch into entry hazards again. He doesn't have Black Sludge, so there's no way for him to recover his health. He's pretty much just a dead duck here. And I'm just going to roar him out. I probably should have went for a Roost, but I didn't trust that I wouldn't get critted. And I need Skarmory to take on this Conkeldurr. So that's what I do. Gengar's pretty much dead now as soon as he comes back in. And Conkeldurr is going to take some major damage from entry hazards as well, which is always good. And I'm just hoping and praying that this thing does not have Fire Punch. But he keeps switching him out, so I'm assuming he doesn't. He's going to go into Togekiss here. And I'm like, why do you keep switching Togekiss in and out? I don't understand, because he's taking so much Stealth Rock damage. I'm assuming it has Roost. And it looks like he also has a Quick Claw, which sucks. I'm pretty sure Togekiss is going to be faster than Skarmory anyway. But nonetheless, he goes for a Thunder Wave, and now I'm paralyzed. And that's actually going to be the key to this match later on, as you'll see. I don't want to spoil anything. But roar the Togekiss out. I was expecting a Nasty Plot, not a Thunder Wave. But I get Tyranitar back in here. And yeah, there's really nothing he can do. He's got nothing on me. He just cannot get this Skarmory off the field. Skarmory is a huge problem for his team. And looking at my team, it looks like Togekiss is going to be the issue for me. I don't really have anything, like I said, to counter it. So that could be a problem, but I'm looking pretty good right now. So Gengar comes in, and yeah, he dies right away. And Togekiss is going to come in to replace him and roost off most of the Stealth Rock damage. I'm just going to roar again. At that point, I wasn't sure if he had roost or not, but nonetheless, I'm just shuffling his team around and forcing him to take all of this entry hazard damage, especially the ones that are on the ground taking spikes damage. So finally, my Reflect wears off there, just in time for him to go for a Crunch. I was hoping he was not going to get the defense lower, and he doesn't, which is awesome. And that Tyranitar is pretty much dead now, too. In comes the Porygon 2, and this Porygon 2 is within KO range now, or pretty close to it, taking Sandstorm damage, Spikes damage, Stealth Rock damage, and pretty soon Poison damage, too. There, almost enough to kill him. Somehow it survives. He's going to go for a Recover. And yeah, he gets a lot of his health back, which sucks. So I'm going to go for a Brave Bird there. I just wanted to see how much it would do, or if he would go for the Charge Beam or something else anyway, expecting me to switch. But that was not the case. So he actually does gain a little bit net HP, even with the poison damage. Not by much, though. So now he is going to go for the Charge Beam. And ouch, that does a lot of damage. And I'm paralyzed, and I can't move. So I'm like, crap, Skarmory's really taking a beating. He's paralyzed, he's taken so many hits already. And the poison damage just, so close. I've been so close to taking out this Porygon 2 so many times. He goes for the Charge Beam, and it doesn't quite kill me. I'm able to get the Roost off. If I went for the Brave Bird here, Porygon 2 would be dead. But it doesn't matter, because he's poisoned. So it turns out that the toxic damage finally does take out Porygon 2. And that's great news. So I guess in retrospect, maybe it wasn't that bad of an idea. Either would have worked. So he's going to bring his Tyranitar now. And yeah, that thing is dead. Goodbye. Entry hazards just absolutely destroyed that thing. I don't even know if I hit Tyranitar with an attack other than entry hazards. He's just been in so many times. So now Conkeldurr is going to come in. And I'm guessing he does have Drain Punch, and he does. So he's going to go straight for that to try to get some health back. And he gets an okay amount of health back. One thing about Skarmory is that even with his high defense, he doesn't have a lot of HP. So there's really not that much to recover with Leech Seed and stuff like that. But I go straight for the Brave Bird, not messing around. And yeah, that takes out Conkeldurr from half health. So now Togekiss is going to come in. And I'm thinking that I'm in really good shape, because I've taken out most of his team just with entry hazards and Skarmory alone. But not the case. So I'm paralyzed and can't move when Togekiss comes in. He goes for the Roost, gets himself up to full health. Now he's going to go for the Nasty Plot. And I'm like, oh god. So I'm going to have to go for the Brave Bird. I can't just keep roaring this thing out. He doesn't have any other Pokemon at this point. So I just need to damage it. There's no more of the entry hazard thing going on. I have to be able to overpower it. And he's going to go for another Nasty Plot. So now he's going to be at +4 special attack. I'm paralyzed and can't move. I'm like, oh god, he can hit me with anything pretty much, and I'm going to die. But he's just abusing the fact that I'm paralyzed. He's going to go for a Nasty Plot again. And now he's going to be at +6, and I'm paralyzed and I can't move again. 2 turns in a row. And that pretty much solidifies it. Yeah, he is able to get up to +6, and he's going to take out Skarmory. There's nothing really I could do. I didn't want to switch out and have anything else take an Air Slash, especially because I've got Trevenant here, and he can't take an Air Slash, even unboosted, really. So, yeah, Air Slash, and Trevenant just goes down, and the last Pokemon that I have is going to be Typhlosion. This is a Choice Specs set. I'm going to be faster than it so I can get an Eruption off, and it's going to be close. And Togekiss survives. Goes for the Air Slash at +6. Typhlosion has absolutely no chance to survive that whatsoever. And he comes away with the win. And that's just really unfortunate because I thought my team did a great job, but I don't know. It just wasn't enough in the end to fight off that Togekiss at +6. So, oh well. I mean, I don't even think if I had Glizzcore alive I would have been able to do much to it. I needed to have a light screen up, if anything. But Togekiss apparently is a huge counter for this team. Anyway, thought it was a good match. Definitely worth uploading. But thank you guys very much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time for another great battle. Game on.